of March 2024 and referred to the Public Accounts Committee for appropriate action, the Senate operated within the constitutional timelines. The Senate has further confirmed and demonstrated that if there was a delay by the Office of the Auditor General in submitting reports to Parliament, it was occasioned by the delay of the Kisii County Executive to provide financial statements, which were approved and signed by the CEC on 10th of January 2024, 3 months outside the constitutional and statutory timelines. With regards to the other report, the County Revenue Fund report for the year ended 30th June 2023, this report, the Senate was seized of it on 20th of March 2024, upon which the Senate referred the report to the Public Accounts Committee for appropriate action on that date. If there was a delay by the Auditor General in submitting the report to Parliament, again, it was occasioned by the County Executive of Kisii, because the County Revenue Fund's financial statements were approved and signed on 19th of December 2023, whereas they ought to have been provided by 30th of September 2023. If anyone is going to take responsibility for that delay, it is the County Executive of Kisii. In the final report for the financial year 2023, this report, Parliament was seized of it on 21st of March 2024 within the constitutional timelines. We did our own internal processes of debate and consideration, and it was referred to this committee for appropriate action, which is what we are doing. If there was a delay by the Auditor General in providing the financial statement report to Parliament, it was again occasioned by the illegal actions, because these are violations of the law. We can point you to the law that makes it an offense not to comply with the provisions of the Public Audit and PFM Act. The County Revenue Fund, the revenue statements were approved and signed by the receiver of revenue on 30th November 2023, 2 months outside the statutory timelines. So, Governor, we must make a ruling on this. I do not want us to avoid taking the decision. Parliament has acted properly within its timelines. The County Executive of Kisii has acted outside the constitutional and statutory timelines, and therefore, if there was to be a crisis, it would be a self-inflicted crisis by the County Executive of Kisii. Now, it's important that we have this conversation, and I think it's important that you brought it up.
Chairman.
So that it can, just a minute, so that it can provide guidance to the other governors who might assume that they can use a legal loophole to run away from accountability. The Senate, I think we have applied our minds to this. Of course, we are seeking a review on certain issues, transitional issues, clarification on practical application. But we cannot seek a review of the Constitution. We are not, there's no contention about what the Constitution says. But for us to fulfill the constitutional requirements, all of us must play our part. There is no way the Auditor General can give a report if the entity provides a report in the following year. And there is no way this committee can take appropriate action without calling the entities, because Article 47 gives you the right to fair administrative action. So it's not, unless you just want us to adopt and say that HR money was stolen. That's why we afford you this opportunity. I've made that long submission so that it can act as a guide kwa wale ambao wako na nia kama Zako.
Chair, first of all, I withdrew. Therefore, after withdrawing, Chair, you can't give the ruling on it, because I stepped down that objection that I
No, the matter needed to be determined.
I know, Chair, you're guiding that another governor coming for must put their acts together. But again, I agree with you. We must be all of us faithful to what the Constitution requires of us. Therefore, as I just indicated earlier, Chair, I withdrew. Therefore, that suffices, the ruling you were to make.
Honourable members, unless there is an observation, I wanted to take this view Governor, the House is going on recess today. And there are certain instruments which, if you don't pass, counties are going to be starved of cash. Yesterday, we passed the county allocation of revenue bill, CARA, and we had to raise 2/3 to defeat a memorandum by the president, which wanted to distribute 380 billion. These senators here, we came together and we ensured that whatever was distributed was 387 billion. Today, we are supposed to process other statutes, the cash disbursement schedule, and a few other bills that would be supporting devolution. We don't have much time to consider the report before us, but at least we have agreed in principle that notwithstanding Jairus Nga's decision, this exercise must be undertaken because it's part of that appropriate action. And I wanted to make a proposal, honorable members, that if the governor stepped down, but I've also given guidelines on how Senate proceeds in light of that kind of concern, that we may need to defer or to adjourn early to allow us to make those other decisions that are good for devolution, and then propose another date where we'll not be taking too much time on preliminaries, where the governor will come and will go straight to action. And maybe by that time, the Auditor General will have provided the most recent report. So it will give us a fresher perspective on the affairs of Kisii. Honorable members, could I hear your comments on that? Senator Nyonka?
Thank you, Chair. I think I have no objection to us